Now let's nail down on that. When you say what's happening, be more specific.
Like I've heard you say like a thought can't see, hear, feel, taste, and touch, and I've examined that, and
Yeah,
that's right. A thought cannot see,
yeah,
and the rest it can't. It just can't. It doesn't have that ability.
good.
So you know, and what's left. It seems anyway at that stage is there's seeing, there's hearing, there's touching, there's tasting, there's smelling. That's all going on. You know,
Mm,
um,
yeah,
or that interpretation. And that seems to be it.
yeah. But there is still the sixth sense, the thinking mind.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not the
happening.
enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the good, good, good. So it's the sixth sense, which is the dualistic one. The other five aren't,
Right.
right? Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. They're not a dualistic experience. They're a
Yeah.
non-dual experience. Then there's the
But but
sixth sense, the thinking mind.
but we can't like it
Go,
if
go.
it so the seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, like by themselves, yeah, they're a non-dual experience. But it's not like I'm having five non-dual experiences, though.
Why not? What do
Oh
you mean?
wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah,
I never thought of that, Terry.
good, 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 good. Think of the opening that would occur there. Think of the opening that would occur there. See what the mind does, yeah? It divides those five senses up: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. It divides them, yeah? I'll,
Yeah.
let me give you an example of that, yeah? You're seeing right now, yeah?
Yeah.
There's seeing happening right now. Good. And you can see that I'm wearing a black t-shirt and there's a white headphone here, a little bit of a scruffy beard on my face. There's things behind me on the wall there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's seeing happening. Good. Now go to hearing. I'm not quite sure what other sounds that you're aware of in that room that you're sitting in right now, other than my voice. But I'm sure if I paused, you'd be able to pick up something. Just try.
Yeah, there's cars are going by. I can hear the fan in the ceiling.
Perfect, perfect. So you can hear the fan in the ceiling, there's cars going by, and so on and so forth. Yeah, good. Now let's go to the sense of smell. Yeah,
Yeah.
you may be able to smell something, you may not be able to smell something, but there's still the sense of smelling occurring. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're there with the sense of smell. You're there. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Tell me, what happened to the sense of seeing? Where did that go?
It didn't go anywhere.
Didn't go anywhere. But when we use the mind to go through the seeing, through the hearing, and then through the sense of smell, using the mind to flick
Yeah.
through those 3 points. I remember there's five, but to flick through those 3 points. By the time you get to the sense of smelling, there is no awareness of seeing.
No, I
Seeing
get
is
like my
happening, absolutely.
yeah, that's what I mean. Seeing is
Yeah,
happening, but I was just my attention was just on the sense of smell.
that's my point. That's my point. When we use the mind, it
Yeah.
divides each of the senses up. Yeah.
Okay.
The mind can't experience good. Thoughts can't experience the seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling all at once. It divides.
Right.
It divides. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, where I'm trying to get you is to drop the mind altogether and experience the seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling all in one go. Boom. No division. and note, even if there's a struggle with that, it's because the mind is still trying to divide it.
Yeah, there's thoughts coming up.
It's still
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Good. So just notice that. That's all right. Just notice that. Yeah. Now, see, where you are, Keith, is where I was. I'd been on the path for a long time, and I kept asking myself this question. How is it, with such a profound understanding of this teaching, in the final analysis, it still feels like Terry's here?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What the fuck? What do I do with that? You know, like it was driving me fucking crazy. Yeah, it really was. It was like, fuck, you know. And I must have asked myself that same question hundreds of times. Hundreds of times. How is it I have such a profound understanding of this teaching, but in the final analysis, it still feels like Terry sitting here? What the fuck do I do with that? I didn't even want to speak to any teachers anymore.
Right.
I was over that. I didn't want to pick up a book. Didn't want to didn't want to pick up a book. Didn't want to listen to anybody. Just, I was done, you know. And then one day, I was sitting there, and that exact same statement came up. How is it that I can have such a profound understanding of this teaching, yet in the final analysis, it still feels like Terry's here? And I heard myself say that for the last time, but there was a word in there, in that statement, that I kept missing. In all the hundreds of times that I kept saying it, there was one word in there that I kept missing. Can you guess what it is?
Feels.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, feels.
And the last time I said that, I heard myself use the word feels, and a light bulb went off in my head, and I just went, feels? A Terry can't feel. A concept can't feel. A thought can't feel. Feels? This that I've been experiencing, that I've been calling Terry having a feeling, isn't Terry having a feeling at all. So what the hell is this? Everything shifted and changed in that moment. Everything shifted and changed in that moment. At that point, the true inquiry started. The true inquiry into this that I actually am started. Up until that point, Keith, right up until that very point, all I was doing was coming to an understanding of what I'm not. Right up to that point, coming to an understanding of what I'm not. And I missed that bit. Feels.
Yeah.
A concept can't feel, for God's sake. A thought can't feel, for God's sake. You know? So,
yeah,
you know, it happens at an early age, somewhere around the age of 2. You know, mind or thoughts hijacks this presence, this awareness, this consciousness, and starts calling it me or Terry or Keith.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob says that too. Says the same thing. You know, it gets hijacked, and then it's conditioned and conditioned and conditioned and conditioned, and then we get to this age, and we're sitting here, you know, absolutely 100% believing that Keith, you know, or Terry is this that's sitting here, that's conscious and aware and is capable of feeling. We're convinced, 100% convinced, and it's that little bit there that needs to be unraveled. That little bit there.
Yeah.
You've unraveled the rest of it. Honestly. You've unraveled the rest of it, Keith. You have. Shouldn't even be calling you Keith. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
You know? Yeah. This that is here here's the funny thing, Keith. Yeah, this that is here, this here-ness, this now-ness, this consciousness, this awareness, this aliveness, this being, this. Yeah, it's this that's being sought.
Yeah.
It's this. Got to laugh, right? It's this that's being sought.
And Terry, I swear, like I understand that that but the head is saying this should be different. Like this should be the light should
No, it's
come
wrong.
on, the
Just
fireworks.
yeah, good. Know that that is all wrong. What would a thought know? A thought's not even conscious. It doesn't know shit.
Right.
What would it know?
Terry, I think
It's
I have
just
this.
learnt.
Yeah, I think I have
Okay.
this expectation that, or this belief still that thoughts do know, and and when I finally figure out that thoughts don't know, that'll be it. Seeking over, closed. I'm on the way.
Fantastic. There's this little analogy that I use. I haven't used it for a long time actually, but this path, it's like a marathon, and you've been on this path for a very, very long time. Yeah, it's a marathon. Okay.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, good. Yep. And then all of a sudden, you start to sense or feel, or there can even be a knowing, yeah, that you're close. You're close. Right. Okay. Good. So in this analogy, we're going to assume that life is a marathon. Okay. And all of a sudden, 200 meters up ahead of you, you see the finish line. Okay. You see it. Right. And what do? You buckle down and you fucking dig in and you really fucking try. Now you're going to really try because there it is. Right. There it is. Okay. And the harder you try and the faster you run, just that much faster as that finish line recede away from you. This is you, the runner. Yeah. This is the finish line. You become aware of the finish line. You start to try harder and you're going faster. As you're doing that, the finish line moves away from you.
Yeah.
Good. Now, at some point, and this is where you are, at some point, there must be the realization that where you're going, that finish line, you can't take the mind with you. Just assume you've been carrying the mind under your arm, that whole marathon, that whole life's journey, that whole marathon. Yep, you've been carrying the mind under your arm, just for argument's sake, right? Yeah. You become aware, like you're close. Yeah. You can't take that where you're going. You can't. There has to be the recognition of that and the understanding of that and the willingness to put it down. The willingness to put it down. Here's what happens. As soon as that willingness arises to put this down, the mind down, guess what happens to the finish line? Guess what happens to the finish line? Here's the finish line. Guess what happens to it?
You're there.
It rushes to you. It rushes to you.
Yeah.
Whilst you're trying to chase it, it'll stay away. It'll stay away.
Yeah. At this stage, Terry, I don't know how to stop thinking.
It's okay. You don't have to stop thinking. You don't have to stop thinking. You don't have to stop. You just have to stop being interested. Yeah. Oh, seeking. Well, it's the same. It's the thinking is the seeking.
Yes, yes.
That's good. The seeking is a result of the thinking. But at some point, you have to come to see that this, this thinking, this seeking, this instrument is dualistic. It has a use by date. You can only go so far with it. You
Right.
can literally only go so far with it. Yeah. So there has to be the clear understanding, yeah, that this gets put down in a friendly way, in a nice way. Not you're trying to kill it or you're trying to stomp out thoughts or you're trying to stop thoughts. None of that sort of shit.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah.
realization. It's just a realization. Put it down. Just put it down. Yeah. In the moment you put that down, guess where you find yourself?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you've
Just
always been.
just here, Terry. Like just literally here.
Yeah. Yes. Where you've always been. You've never not been here. You've always
Right.
been here.
Right. And then,
There's just been a mind. There's just been a mind that's been overlaying this presence, this beingness, overlaying it with a story about a me character. It's just a fucking story, Keith. It's literally just a
Terry, can I ask you
story.
a question? So, like, so every single thought is a concept.
Is it not?
Just that includes
Is it?
awareness and consciousness too.
Yes, the word awareness and the word consciousness are both concepts.
Right.
100%.
So only
100%.
we're only ever referring to just here.
Yeah. And even that, watch, even that pertains to a word called here. And that's a concept too. So put down the mind, put down the concepts, and just be.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I can say, I can say, I can say, yeah, that when that happens, yeah. Now, I'm not a big advocate of bloody fireworks and, bliss, and I'm not a big advocate of that stuff. But what I
I
am
got
an
roped
advocate
in.
of is
I got
in that
roped in
moment.
with lofty language and words like love and this and that,
Yeah,
and it was like,
me too,
oh,
me too, me too. Me too, Sat Chidananda, being, knowing, loving to be, blah, blah. Like, me too, yeah. But
yeah,
there is something that occurs. There is an understanding. And the only way I know how to verbalize this understanding is to call it, and it's a non-dualistic knowing. So it's not like the normal mind duality knowing.
yeah,
There's a non-dualistic knowing, and it's Nisargadatta. It's pointing to I am, I am, not I am Keith, and then the backstory connected with that name, Keith. Fucking hell, or I am Terry,
right,
and the backstory connected with that. Holy fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
just here, just here, just here. But at some point, it's just got to be put down. And what it's saying, what it's believing is simply not true. It's just not true. It can't know. A thought can't know. It just mimics. Anything it
hmm
hears, it'll copy, it'll copy and think and verbalize. Oh, yes, there's going to be fireworks. Why? Oh, I've heard there's going to be fireworks.